IVM.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into a show about crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
Here's your smart fact of the day. Did you know that global sales-wise, YouTube has made as much money in the last quarter as Netflix has? Both of the companies made about $7 billion each in the last 3 months in 2021. Now, funny thing is that YouTube makes its money through advertising and Netflix makes its money through subscriptions. Of course, YouTube has its YouTube TV, YouTube Premium, YouTube Music, which are additional revenue streams, but the majority of the money that YouTube makes is through advertising. Welcome to Smarter with Sid. Today we are going to look at how Netflix is trying to get one over YouTube in the way in which it's moving about its own business. On the face of it, these two are not direct competitors to each other. YouTube's primary revenue model is through advertising sales. Of course, there's the freemium service involved in YouTube, where you can subscribe and get ad-free YouTube. On the other hand, Netflix obviously is completely subscription-based and not ad-based at all. Now, given the fact that unfortunately both of these are vying for our attention, the viewer's attention, somewhere they are competing. And obviously Netflix is now getting into the e-commerce routine, while YouTube is obviously trying to look at subscriptions, because people are skipping ads a lot. Let's face it, skipping ads a lot. So Netflix is obviously being challenged by YouTube in an indirect way, and so is YouTube being challenged by Netflix in an indirect way. It's a battle of the business models. But today's thing, I want to take a step back, is not about, the battle of the business models. I'm trying to understand what Netflix has done in order to promote its own content. Netflix has done something really amazing. Wherever you go, right now I'm in the UK, but even in India, and anywhere else, what Netflix is doing is that it is creating free content that people can actually look at when they are on YouTube. And while that just seems so natural, it is not really natural. I mean, if you have to compare how these two companies are treating each other, or rather how Netflix is looking at YouTube. Just imagine a Zee and a Sony fighting with each other on viewership patterns, but suddenly a Sony putting up an ad on Zee television just because, Zee is going to give them access to millions of people that typically are not looking at Sony's ads. And would Zee accept that, and would Sony accept that? As an executive and in Sony Entertainment, yes, that was my first job of campus of the Mica campus. As a student, I'd passed out and joined Sony Entertainment. And we tried to do that with Zee, but that plan got scuttled by somebody either in Sony, or maybe Zee didn't accept it or something, I don't recall. But it's so difficult for two competitors to actually engage in this manner. But Netflix is doing exactly that. What Netflix is doing is that it's creating beautiful advertising in a sense, but it is more like content. I mean, if you see the Anil Kapoor driven Money Heist sort of song, I think Shruti Hassan's there, and so a bunch of other people, Rana Daggubati and all of that. But a lot of wonderful people are putting up great content which is free on YouTube, but it's also an ad for Netflix. Now, it doesn't come across as an ad, does it? It comes across as entertaining content by on its own merit, by its own steam. And that has been the policy for Netflix across all countries. They've been creating content which is free. So in a sense, look at what they've done so smartly. So they've created a freemium program or a freemium platform of their own, except the free part is on YouTube, which is their biggest competitor, and the Mium part is their own subscription-based platform. Isn't that amazing? So normally when people look at freemium services, you look at, adding some free element to it and a premium element to it, whether it's, let's say, a LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great. You can understand that there's a LinkedIn premium, you pay for it. Or you look at a YouTube itself, there is YouTube that you get through advertising. And if you don't want to see advertising, then there's a YouTube premium. Very clear. What Netflix is doing is fantastic. It's a breakthrough, and I don't think most people have understood it. Number one, it's a breakthrough because it is creating this platform, which is like it's outsourcing its free part to YouTube, getting people to actually look at its content, which it's providing for free on YouTube. Secondly, that content is actually a disguised ad for people to go in and subscribe to Netflix. But that ad is so good that it can be consumed as content. And thirdly, Netflix is actually collaborating with YouTube rather than competing with it, because it is also adding to YouTube viewership when it's doing whatever it's doing, isn't it? Three wonderful things that is kind of making this particular strategy stand out. I think what Netflix has realized is that the world of the viewer is so rapidly changing that people are not understanding it. Perhaps YouTube is always going to be its competitor, but it's also not understanding the consumer the way in which Netflix understands the consumer, the viewer or the user or the subscriber. What Netflix has understood is that A, the subscriber is not particularly fond of advertising at all. B, it is not going to even consume content which is around advertising unless and until the content is entertaining by itself. I mean, if you look at the cred ads, right? And we've spoken about the cred ads over here on this podcast before when it was called the Traveling Professor's Diary. Today it's Smarter with Sid, and it's a little bit smarter. But the fact is that the cred ads themselves were playing off on this specific format, that unless and until you are able to create content which is meaningful or entertaining, you're not going to actually be looked down. You're going to be looked down upon, rather, because advertising is kind of facing that sort of heat. Netflix has realized that. And to be honest, if I even see the, let's say, the Netflix ad, let's say, for Money Heist, I mean, what does that have to do with Money Heist, AK and Anil Kapoor, and everybody else just, having this wonderful song and we're waiting for it and all of that? It's like a fan anthem. And the fan anthem really works beautifully. The reason why it works beautifully is because they've also realized that, with subtext, everything works. Yeah. What I would do to be a fly on the wall to really understand the kind of data and the kind of insights and the kind of beautiful patterns that Netflix is able to see about how people are viewing things right now. I'm sure there must be some strategy room in YouTube which does the very same. But Netflix is using YouTube's business model against itself. And that's what I'd like you to, have a think about while I close this one out. I think Smarter with Sid is trying to look at various interesting aspects of this wonderful commercial but lively world that we live in. And one of these is to look at how competition and collaboration kind of coexist peacefully. One of the things that makes us realize that is if we up our knowledge game with the latest concepts and pull our learning to the next level. My program is going to come up soon. This is a soft plug for that. Yes, but this content will work hopefully on its own. And I hope to have added some value through this episode of Smarter with Sid. Hopefully making you that 1% smarter as it did me when I looked at the wonderful Netflix stuff that it's doing on YouTube. I hope you like this. And if you like episodes like this, just check out other podcasts, man, on the IVM podcast thing. Wonderful stuff they've got. And, just follow me. I'm the Traveling Professor on Instagram or on LinkedIn. And I'll be happy to connect with you. Cheers.
Hi, everybody. Just wanted to ask everyone for a quick favor. We're running a brand survey right now and would really appreciate it if you could let us know what you think about the advertising on IVM. Go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and do let us know. As part of this, we'll be selecting 10 random participants and sending them some IVM swag, so do fill out those surveys. Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Priya Mirza, host of our new podcast, The Longest Constitution, talks to Cyrus about her show and her podcasting experience. The importance of investing in a good night's sleep is highlighted by founder and CEO of Sleepy Cat, Kabir Siddique, on Advertising is Dead with Varun. On the Wire Talks, Siddharth talks about the horrendous capture of Kabul by the Taliban with the author and journalist Taran Khan. Co-founders of the Goa Rainbow Trust, Francis and Chris Fernandez, joined Farhad and Sunetra on GabyCD. Witness the epic battles between detergent brands HUL and Nirma, as narrated by Anupam and Ambi on The Last Brand Standing. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you enjoyed this show or any of our shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the word about a podcast. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: Ciet Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Intuit India. We really do appreciate the support. You are what makes this possible.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy. If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.